Everybody, welcome back to another drawing video, this time about shading and coloring, or just small tips. I don't know too much about it myself, but I know enough that I can make a small video explaining the rough basics and all that. So hopefully you guys enjoy. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. All that jazz really helps me out, and let's get this video on the way. So yeah. Okay. Shading basics. So the rough idea of shading is it can be applied to pretty much everything. What is shading exactly? It's basically to put into question. Let's learn. So basically, it can be applied to pretty much anything, even humans. So shading is basically the definition of light from an angle on an object. So, for instance, using this format here, on one side of an object, it could be the darkest because there's no light on this side. But as the light goes from the opposite side, let's say this side here, it would be a lot more brighter. So it would transcend a little bit light to the darkest side of the object. So, giving the rough estimate, it can even be applied to human shapes. So a side view of a human, the light would be different. A front view, depending where the light is and the value. Any type of, even any angle of a human body can be basically anywhere it could be shaded. So the light is dependent. Where you have the light in your, drawing is pretty much key to the shading. So from the side, maybe you can have it from the back, and as it goes to the front, it's a little bit lighter. Who knows? It all depends. For instance, this photo right here. Give a rough estimate. Notice how right here, it's a little darker in some areas, but it's lighter in others. Notice those little key things. Darker, and it's really light right there because that's where the light's hitting the most. So it's turning her hair white. So basically, some areas where depending where light is, the face is illuminated, while some areas on the other side are a little darker and a lot more illuminated with a different type of light. Another example, a painting I did. Big shout out to somebody. Perspective also can help with light and value. For instance, this is like a different point of perspective. Notice how it's a little darker right there, and up here it's a little darker but not too dark. But in a lot of areas, it's light in the hair. Same can be said for this other painting I've done. Notice how there's a little shade right near the neck area, because of course there'd be a gap. And there's a lot of a darker area where the jacket collar is. And a lot of shade in certain areas, especially with the sides of the face and those key little details. How some things are lighter, like the buttons where the light would probably hit, while some stuff is darker, like that side of the cheekbone compared to the other side. Perfect example is Jin Sakai's face. Notice how even the mask is a lot more illuminated in some areas where light would hit, and darker in others where the light would hit from the side. It half illuminates his face with an orange lighting. It's very key to know what type of shade to use and all that, especially in a dynamic drawing like doing a building. For instance, light would be going here, but some light would go on top of the building and it'd be somewhat shaded, while the other side of the building is completely dark. So there would be a giant black type of like shade. So like a 3D shading. any type of shading could be applied, even to animals or closer up shots with humans, depending on your angle, or inanimate objects. Anything could be applied. Hopefully you guys enjoy this little rough tutorial. Part 2 will be about color, and see you guys soon for part 2.